All right. Are we ready? Ready to rock and roll, everyone? You ready to do this thing? Raise your hand if you're ready to rock. Raise your hand if you're ready to rock. Cool. All right, let's go through some housekeeping items and then we'll dig straight in. But before we do, hey, what's going on? Judd, Burdon. I'll be your host tonight on the AK Roundtable. Doing this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's something I look forward to. It's a drum beat that we bring. And of course, coming together with all of you guys in that awesome mindset. Lavelle Phillips, what's up? With that mindset that we set up in that upper echelon, because that's the way that we roll and we do things differently than the average that's out there. So really excited to be doing that. I don't know who's sharing their screen right now. Does somebody see someone sharing a screen? I can see somebody sharing a screen. Can you guys?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that was possible, but that was pretty cool. That was really cool. Matthias, did you see that? That was awesome. Who is doing that? That was pretty cool. All right, Matthias, was that you, dude? Was that you? Were you sketching? All right, cool. Let's dig in. All right, we've got reactions down at the bottom. Those reactions can be used to raise your hand. You can send any kind of other reactions that you want to anybody. You can also chat in the window with people directly, or you can chat with the whole group. It's completely up to you. What I do recommend, you'll see at the bottom of my screen, it says Asphalt Kingdom. I'm presently renaming that to Judd. And then I'm going to go ahead and type my email address in, and I do that so that you guys can do the same thing and make sure that you have your contact information. Why? Because, of course, building this network is awesome, and you always are able to connect with other people that might shine bright on the roundtable here, or somebody that might say, hey, I'm from this place, and there's some opportunities that I have over here for you potentially. And so let's make sure to do that. I know that there's been a lot of job sharing that's gone on in the network. I also do want to make a really cool announcement. We're almost at 3,000 members in the AK Roundtable that have signed up for this roundtable through our actual sign-up form. This community is growing rapidly. We're getting like 15, 16, 20 people a day that are signing up for it. So it is growing, and I want to just express my gratitude to all of you. And especially to all of you that show up every week, because I know that that's something that is hard to fit into the schedule sometimes. And there's a lot of you on here that pay it forward constantly. So massive, massive thank you, and so grateful for you for all the contributions that you make with this community. You guys make this place so much better. And it does take a community.
Why can't I get this on mute?
Don't worry, Waylon, we got you. I just muted you, brother. You're good. So yeah, that's basically, I just want to express the gratitude to everyone on here. And I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes with all of you as well. A lot of people networking behind the scenes from the roundtable. So that's super cool as well. My mission here is to make sure that you guys are able to connect with each other through this community. The more people I can bring here that can help you, the better.
What the fuck are you doing?
Cool. Hey, Waylon, stop pushing that microphone button, brother. We can hear you cussing in the background, man. Just keep that microphone button muted. You're good to go, brother. We're good. All right, cool. All right, so we have people from all over North America on here, and I know that we actually had Europe on last week, which was pretty cool. So excited to be here. Almost 3,000 members, team. How cool is that? So with that, let's dig in. We're going to move into wins for the week since last Wednesday. Really interested in hearing about some wins to get this party started, get the energy up, and then we're going to dig into some stuff that I think will be helpful for you guys. At the end of this meeting, we will have a one-word close, and we will hope that you have some notes of some golden nuggets that you can apply to your life, your business, who knows, even your person, to be able to build a life that's even more a little bit more advanced from where you are today. So let's rock and roll. Wins, come on, put your hand up. Let's go. You can use the reactions to raise your hand. I know that there are some wins. I heard, yes, I saw some wins. Carlos, let's do it, man. Bring it on, buddy. Good to see you, man. You're muted. Come off mute. Click that microphone button in the bottom left. Bottom left.
Mute. How about that?
You're on, buddy.
I was doing my air guitar for the video, man. That was awesome.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing a lot. Just want to be brief. I know we got other people who want to talk and want to give into and partake from this energy. Judd, we had a candid discussion. I won't go into it, but I had to make some hard decisions from the last time I met with you at that Canada trip. There were some team members that I had to, invite to leave, and some team members that I had to invite on. But we got an awesome team dynamic now, and we're doing about 10 proposals a week now, Judd. It just feels awesome. We got a lightning process going. Nobody feels alone. Everybody's a member of the team. There's no big I's and small U's. It's just feeling great, brother. And I thank you for your hand in that, your hand of encouragement. I asked you for some help along the way, and you answered emails really quickly, man. God bless you, man. Thank you.
God bless you, man. That's so good to hear. And you want to know something, man? I'll tell you, like, I remember the roundup in Dundas, Ontario that you came up to. You flew all the way in from Texas, man. And that was carving that time out of your schedule to come and do that and make that investment. And I was so glad to meet you in person. And I'll tell you, I was at the Tampa, when we hosted the Tampa Bay AK Roundup, when we were there, I spoke about this, and I spoke about culture in your company, and how that energy, how that frequency is such an important thing, man. And sometimes you got to let go of people that are actually, they may even be really good performers in your company, man. They may bring a lot of sales. I spoke about 2 people that we had in our sales organization at Asphalt Kingdom that were bringing in multiples of millions of dollars a year. And the culture fit wasn't there, man. It wasn't there. And we decided to let them go just based upon culture misalignment, right? And so you've got to make sure that the core values and the culture in your organization is one that everybody believes in, and that everybody's aligned with that. And if they're not, you know what, man, they might be better off somewhere else. So congrats, dude. Congrats. Proud of you, bro. Proud of you. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. John, I know you got some cool news too. This is awesome. Let's roll.
All right. As we already briefly spoke, but my first contract was signed. I actually had to correct a mistake, and I risked losing the contract. But to my surprise, they signed it within a minute of me sending it. So it's the 350,000 square foot pothole repairs, which hopefully will which they plan on repaving in the next 6 months. So hopefully we get that. And then I'm sending proposals for 115,000 and an 8,000 mill and pave for after the winter.
How many pieces of equipment do you own?
0.
Welcome to the pavement asset management brokerage business, brother.
Thank you.
Proud of you, man. I'm glad that you got to the point of getting your deal signed, and first of many. So congratulations, man. What kind of company are you building?
A marketing and what is it? Marketing and forgot the other word.
Marketing and sales company first, everyone. You're building a marketing and sales company first. Whether you're self-performing or brokering the deals, that comes next. But you got to build a marketing and sales company first. That's your focus. That's your key focus, man. And then, of course, a pavement asset management business, right, John?
All right.
Nice. Cool. Congrats, man. I can't wait to see the next big one that you bring in. Make sure you message me. Let me know when it rolls in, buddy.
You got it. Thanks.
Let's go. Let's go, Jeanette. What's happening? I know you've got wins.
What?
Asphalt.
$485,000. I just got it. I am so stoked. And I just bid on a $383,000 job. So, I didn't see y'all show you this to y'all last week. Hang on, let me see if I don't know how to turn my camera. Yes, this is my new truck.
Victor, you got a smile from ear to ear. I can see it across the whole screen. You see this? This is what I'm talking about right here.
I don't
Just
have. We just had it
Yeah.
detailed, so I don't have the sticker, the magnets on it for our company, but yes. And I cannot wait for our meeting this week. And tomorrow I have a meeting with a marketing company. We're going to start marketing and getting that, because we're not really finding, we're getting some calls in, but not like I want and like I expect. But this is crazy. So I just want to drop this little piece of information. Last year I've been starting to go to apartment complexes, because apartment complexes, that's like due diligence work. They have to have maintenance, especially asphalt maintenance. So I've started going around to different ones in the community. Last year, they were not ready, and I didn't really think they were going to do it. They said they would budget for it in the springtime, and I gave them I gave them a striping quote. I just got an email like 15 minutes ago saying that they want to seal coat and stripe. So our sales rep for that area is going to go out there and give them a price for seal coat and stripe. But I was a little excited about that, because that was from last year. So I downloaded and printed out a copy of everything off of Pavement Pro and like did a list. I like visualization. I like paper, hardback stuff. And I downloaded a copy of everyone that I went to last year and that I did not close on. So I'm going through that list, and I'm just going to follow up with them and say, look, we didn't close the deal last year. Would you like to close the deal this year, or would you like to plan to budget for it and see how that goes?
Yes, of course. I love that. You want to know? I'll tell you this. First and foremost, did you say $487,000 deal?
485.
Is this a paving project, or what is
Paving.
going on?
It's remove and replace at 4 inches.
And you
And I
brokered
don't
that deal.
I did. And I don't own a paver.
Yes. And
I did sub it out.
did you pump that proposal through Pavement Pro, AK Dash, essentially? Did you pump it through the
Yes,
platform?
I did. Yes. And
I
they
love
they
that.
actually told me, and I've been getting this from several people, that our software looks very professional. And one of the reasons that I got this job is because I didn't just have a couple of notes scribbled into an email saying, okay, here's a price and this is, some of the services we're going to do. It's actually detailed, and I can attach my company information, my certificate of insurances and stuff like that. So they love it.
Incredible.
I love it.
I am so excited for that. And so that's something, it's a really good takeaway for everyone, right? Remember your deal pipeline that you have, right? You've got the very beginning of that, which is prospect, and then you have lead, and then you have pavement assessment, and then you have quote, and then you have closed won, and you have closed lost. And of course that can continue on relating to work order and invoicing and so on. But my point is if you move it to closed lost, raise your hand that you believe that closed loss column is just maybe not the right time right now, but you can go back to them later. Raise your hand if you agree with that. Make sure, team, that if you're quoting somebody and you end up losing that deal for whatever reason, make sure you have clear notes on it, set a task for yourself inside of the AK Dash system, and make sure that you're indeed following up with those people, because you've already done so much of the groundwork on building that relationship already and establishing some brand trust as well. So just make sure that you're following up with those people. Don't consider them dead to you, please. Jeanette, I'm so stoked for you. So excited.
I can't stay on very long. We're actually out kind of celebrating a little bit. So
go for it.
I just wanted to pop on and say hey to everyone, and everyone
Amazing.
crush it. 2024 is going to be banging.
Let's go. Let's go. This is so great. Victor, what's happening, man? Come on, let's bring it.
Not much. Listen, you got to hold Jeanette back to the end, because she's a heavy hitter. When you bring good stuff, she's like massive stuff.
Y'all listen, I'll tell you this. I remember Jeanette literally when she first joined the round table, like very first just joined the round table, and we brought a role practice on, like a live role practice on the round table. And Jeanette was shaking in her boots doing the first roll practice. Raise your hand if you were there for that very first meeting. Was anybody there? Rob, you remember that, right? Like that was, how long ago is that, Rob?
That was almost, that must have been a year ago.
Almost a year, right?
I remember that exactly. And wow, I mean, the growth, unbelievable, Jeanette.
It is wild. Yeah, you remember that, Rob? It was just like, man, I was like, we were practicing back and forth, and just couldn't even. Sorry, I'm trying to add you here. I'm adding wrong Robs. There we go. So, yeah, it was like so uncomfortable for her, and then she starts coming back with wins, and it's like every week a win. So, Victor, I'll tell you this, man. Like Jeanette. Just watch what trophy she's going to be bringing back by the end of 2024. Like, okay, most companies are excited to do a few $100,000 a year. She just did that in one brokerage project. Plus some, right? How cool is that? And you want to know something? I'll tell you what she is not scared of is she's not scared of actually going out there and knocking on the doors, shaking hands, building relationships, and pushing things through the pipeline the way the yellow brick road is designed. And when you follow a process to a T and you drive the numbers into the system, there's going to be something that comes out. Whatever you drive into it, you're going to have a result that comes out of it. And so that's really the question is, what are we doing from an action perspective right now to drive the reactions that are going to drive us to the goal that we desire in our life? Let's roll. Let's do this. Victor, what's your win, bro?
There's one, and maybe two, maybe three, and maybe four. One, you asked me a question last week I could not answer. I got the number for you. I got 4 proposals out, 70, 30, 25, and 44, 169,000. So they called me. The one I'm holding off on because with number 2, I just got my certificate of insurance. Number 3, I just got my SBA loan approved. Number 4, I got also a grant approved. So, oh wait, let's add 5. Mattia does not frown, but if he were, next week I'm gonna make him happy. Look at him.
He's coming on, bro. He's right here.
Did Victor get registered on AK Dash?
Oh yeah,
registered for AK Dash.
Oh, by the way, I have not been able to have a chance to get into it too far because the proposals I had already get going, and this is what they said. And what I'm going to say, it's an IOU, Judd, and you guys. One of them, two of them have said, Victor, I can't believe how thorough and professional your proposal is. They were so impressed by the way everything was detailed. The other thing I'm including is a project approach. There's one page is a project approach. This is how I'm going to do your job. These are the areas I'm going to take care of. This is how much time it's going to take, and this is how little disruption you're going to have in your lot. So I spell all that out with whatever contingency say, unless something happens. They're loving it. Now the question is, we're going to see how much they love it if they get back to me.
Let's go.
So,
you got this, brother. Hey,
I'm
listen,
done.
you're driving it clean in. Oh, you're just getting started. This is exciting. You excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. Remember the vibrations, right? You're at that point as like, drive it in. We're going to pop and grow 100%. Love that.
Like I said a few round tables ago, I'm used to spending 10 grand and just jumping in and doing some side hustle. I have taken my time here. I have learned everything I learned. In the very beginning, I would have gone, hey, mister, can I paint your driveway? Not now. Now I talk the talk.
Let's go.
Now I know what to say and say it accurately.
Let's go, man. You put the time in too. You're here every week, man. You're driving it, and I'm proud of you. I can't wait to hear you bringing in these big deals. This is going to be super exciting. Keep driving it. Don't stop. Keep the pedal to the metal. It's like the wave pool. Remember, there's a big metal plate and the big wave pool. That metal plate, you're responsible for driving the pressure on that plate that's going to build the wave. You're completely the one that's responsible for that right now. So let's get it. Let's go. Chris Welch, what's up, man? Strifing guy, what's happening? Hey guys, everybody meet this superstar that literally a celebrity now. Come on, let's go. Let's go. What's happening in your world, bro?
I'm catching the round table, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to learn and here to glean, man.
What's new in your world, brother?
Man, not much, man. Just steady going on. You know what I'm saying? We added seal coating.
I heard, man. I heard. So you're now getting real dirty.
Yeah, real dirty. And we added seal coating. And somebody's been talking to me about maybe doing a partnership thing. I still actually have to reach out about that. And so that's pretty much it, man. And just cranking them out, adding seal coating. It's kind of cool, man. Like I get to put my family to work now, so it's pretty cool.
This is so cool, dude. Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. You're going to want to probably get an outdoor shower for the seal coat to wash off of you now, brother, when you're seal coating, because I can tell you, remember, like, who here seal coats and has ruined their bathroom, by the way? Anybody here? Raise your hand if you've ruined your bathroom before after seal coating. Nobody's raising their hand? Bullshit. Everybody who's seal coated has ruined their bathroom. But yeah, you're gonna need a good outdoor shower, bro.
It's crazy. I went down with Rob with H&H, and he was just like, man, come down and collab. And really it started off as a video collab, because after I left Pavex, I had like this long list of people that wanted me to go collab with them. It was pretty gnarly. So I was just like, yes. And then I just started collabing, and I went down there with Rob, and he was like, we're doing this big park line anyway. And I was like, dude, I need to learn how to seal coat anyways. And so, yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Man. Dude, I'm so stoked for you. Super excited to connect as well, and keep rocking it. By the way, for all of you that are not following Chris, the striping guy, go to YouTube, check him out. He's got some incredible content. Subscribe to his channel. There's the plug, bro. Got it? He only paid me $1,500 for that one plug. No, I'm totally kidding. Total joke. But yeah, super awesome content. Please go follow him. Let's go. Let's go. All right, cool. Anything Alex Coring is in the house. What's happening, California? What's happening? We can't see you, bro.
I'm driving again in traffic. I just got done with employee reviews. So we're doing I had a bunch of guys that started 4 months ago. So we were doing 90-day reviews with guys, and we had like a 4-page packet I wrote up. But I can share it with the group if anyone's interested on just the format of doing that. But you know, getting engagement with new employees, showing the appreciation for all the hard work they put in, and an opportunity for feedback from the new employees on how I'm doing as a boss, and always open up with the question like, what's your job satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10? And you know, most of the guys were like 8, and I said, well, have you ever had a job that's more than 8? And they said no. And so that's great. We're at a higher job satisfaction rating than their previous jobs. But, you know, the next follow-up question from me is, how do we get you to a 9 or a 10? What am I missing from an employer standpoint to make this the best experience you've ever had as an employee? So, yeah, it was a really good conversation we had with all the new guys. And so I just left that. But I don't know if that's something anyone's interested in, the format of how I do that, or if you do that internally, Judd, but I can share that out to the group. But we had a couple of wins in the last week, so I don't know if we're going through wins, but talking about collaborations, we just did last week, grinded off a pool deck. I partnered with a pool deck resurfacing company, and we did $2,500 a day in revenue, grinding the pool deck down. So we did all the prep work, and they're coming in. That's a $42,000 job. And we landed our first paving stone contract for $30,000. And we did all the prep work for it. And then I had a paver stone partner come in. He happens to be my neighbor in for my office space. And that's 30 grand. And he charged us 12 grand for the pavers. So we cleared we cleared profit $10,000 in 2 days for prep work, and the prep work on the pool was about $5,000 in profit for 3 days of work. So we're averaging on those 5 days, we're averaging $5,000 a day in net profit for just doing prep work for work that other contractors are coming in to do the end product fulfillment. So just the message out there. Yeah, just the message out there about that is, you know, we all have equipment. We might have a pressure washer. We've got, you know, some grading equipment or excavating equipment or whatever. Is you might have a piece of the puzzle, and you can partner with some of these other contractors to help you fulfill the job, but you can get a bigger piece of the margin, not by just subbing it out, but by partnering and being involved in the process by helping with prep or the finish work. So either one.
It's amazing, Alex. For those of you that don't know, Coach Alex Coring is out in Sacramento, California. He's helped a lot of people build companies, and he's building his company. He's got some coaching clients, actually. One of them that's crossed through the $2.8 million mark in their deal pipeline right now. They're going to be on track, I think, this year. Alex, I believe Jason's going to be hitting a couple $1 million in sales this year for sure. For 2024, that's what they're going to crush.
That's amazing. And they don't own any equipment.
They don't own any equipment. It's all pavement asset management brokerage business. That's what we did, the 20-week coaching and then the infield training with you for estimating and back office stuff. But yeah, they're knocking it clean out of the park. It's super exciting. Matthias, go ahead, buddy.
I just talked to Jason and I was asking him, like, hey, do you mind sharing? He goes, yeah, about $1 million a week he's quoting. It's insane. $1 million a week. I was like,
$1 million
wow.
a week they're quoting. Three guys right now, Denver, Colorado market. So Alex, congrats on your success, and thank you for continuing to pay it forward. The other thing I want to mention is that Alex Coring and I are at Asphalt Kingdom. We're launching a grinding course. So that's coming to you guys all soon as well. So another vertical to be able to monetize, and it's something that you can do all year round. It's actually how Alex's company started out with his father-in-law, and then they moved into pavement asset management as a whole. Alex, do you want to give a little bit of backstory about that, about the grinding part of that, and then a little bit more of meat potatoes relating to the course content that you shot?
Yeah. So we've been doing the grinding stuff for like 27 years now. Essentially, the startup cost for that business is around 10 to 14 grand. It depends on how high end you get with vacuum systems for dust abatement, but your project cost is really, really low. You're talking about when you get onto a job site and you do the grinding work, maybe a gallon of gas a day, and you can produce, a single worker can do between $2,000 and $2,500 in revenue a day on a gallon of gas. There is very, very few services that we can provide in this market that have margins that high. You know, as when we seal coat, we still have to buy all the products, materials, and there's a mobilization cost to get out there with all the equipment. When it comes to the grinding work, it's a relatively low cost to entry. You know, it's not like you have to go get a $25,000-$30,000 seal coat rig and the striper and all that stuff. A grinding machine costs $4,000. Now, if you throw on a trailer and some vacuum systems and stuff, you can kind of get up there a little bit, but a lot of us already have trailers. So you're just looking at getting, you know, a couple pieces of equipment. And, you know, the training course that I put together and filmed, we had a professional videographer come in and follow us around for a couple of projects. And then I went out and did a full estimating, soup to nuts. The content of the course is going to go through how to do an estimate, how to log the information, how to bill it, and how to set up your shop, how to maintain the equipment. There's videos of me fixing machines and working through that process. So it's pretty much everything that it takes to start up a grinding business from the ground up. I think it should be somewhere between, you know, $6,000 at least 6 hours for the course. I don't know how it's going to be final edited, but we had 3 days of shooting, I believe it was. So,
It's about
it
6
should be
hours.
pretty good.
About
Yeah.
6 hours, and then a bunch of supporting collateral as well. And the other thing too is, Alex, just to add to that, so everybody's clear on this, grinding is a fantastic gateway to building pavement asset management relationships as well, because the whole purpose of grinding is to eliminate the liability risk or reduce the liability risk. So Alex, can you speak a little bit more to that, if you don't mind, about the tripping hazards and how you hunt those and how that's opportunity everywhere?
Yeah, so that's kind of how we started, like Judd said, and we do a lot of apartment complexes. I mean, there's some of this in commercial work too. We also do grinding off paint for like when we do striping. So we kind of reconfigure parking lines and parking lots and all that stuff. But there's a lot of money that is tied up with bank inspections, insurance companies, and verifying the legitimacy and safety of multifamily properties. And they can't get funding for certain things unless they meet the requirements. They'll have inspectors come through. There's also something called REAC inspections for HUD and Section 8 properties that's mandated by the government. There's a list you can find online for REAC, REAC inspections in your area. And that's like, basically it's a gimme list. You just pull the REAC inspection list and it'll give you a list of 100 properties in your area that are getting REAC inspected and the dates that they have to turn in their REAC inspection by. So you can just call those people up and say, hey, I know you're having a inspection on your property. Let me come out and do a safety assessment for you. So you could get in there and grind a whole property, say it's $2,000, $3,000, $6,000 on the property, but we go back every single year and we do annual safety inspections and we give certificates of inspection. We provide that'll be kind of part of the course as to how to go about that. But it's basically almost like an agreement from the client that they're going to make the necessary corrections to their property to keep it safe. And then we come in and while we're, out in California, we seal coat like some clients every 3 years, most every 4 to 5 years, but they're going to forget about you, right? You come out and you do seal coating or some pavement work, and 4 years later, when it's time to reseal coat, like unless you have really good follow-up records and tasks to contact them, you're going to forget about that client. They're going to forget about you. But if you're out there every single year maintaining a piece of their property, you've established that long-term relationship, that trust that you build with them, and you're going to be, in the forefront of their minds when it comes to some of these larger projects. And, we've had clients for many years that we did sort of the concrete grinding work for, and it took a while to build up that trust, but we've turned around and won $50,000-$60,000 seal coat jobs. We get some of the bigger concrete jobs, and it's all based on maintaining that relationship through the grinding work. I mean, it is invaluable to maintain that relationship.
By the way, if anybody wants access to early bird course once it is available, which is probably middle of March, we're expecting end of March. If you do want access to that on an early bird option, just do me a favor and type into the chat, say early bird. Type that into your chat in the bottom of Zoom if you want access to that. We're going to be giving you 50% off of the regular course price. So just a heads up, that's a round table exclusive. All right. So that's available to you guys. Alex, thank you so much. And I'm super excited about what's coming up there, man. I know that you put a lot of time and energy into it, and there's been a lot of work now on the editing side and making sure that we're bringing it to everybody to help them win more. Super excited about it.
Hey, Judd, I can't see you, Alex, but man, thanks so much. And is this Canada law or U.S. law, this REAC standard he was talking about?
REAC inspections are in the U.S. So that's like, HUD and Section 8. Those are Those are some of the government funded low income housing communities. So they get a subsidiary of the rent. So say your rent's $1,500, but they only make $30,000 a year. They get they only pay a certain percent of the rent. Some of these people are paying like $200-300 a month in rent, and then the rest is subsidized by the government. So it's based on income qualification. But if anybody gets the course and they want to get additional coaching or do in-field training or field rides, we'll be offering that as well from a coaching perspective. So if anybody wants to come out, see how it's done, get on a machine, learn the process, or have me, well, it'd be harder to come out if you didn't have the equipment, but definitely anyone could fly in and we'll take them through the course in person, and I'll go out and show you guys how to estimate and do all the takeoffs and put the proposals together and then actually perform the work. Within a couple of days, you should be like fully baked to go back and run the operation by yourself.
Alex, maybe what we'll do is when we launch the course, what we'll do is set a date for a group opportunity to have a group of people come in at that same time, like have 10 people or something, or 5 people, whatever you can handle, and then just do a group setting as well to offer that. That could be very cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, the golden nuggets there for sure. Thank you so much, Alex. Skylar, what do we got, brother? Tell us everything, man.
So just to piggyback off of everybody's, joint ventures and brokering stuff, the reality of just being on the round table, right? And, me and Chris just submitted a bid together over $100,000 just from being together on the round table, right? So that's the type of stuff that happens just from showing up here on a week basis, right? It was like $120,000, $130,000 bid that we put in, and I already have a prior relationship with the client, right? We've done work for them. I have trust and authority built, so just another option in the line item, and I've strongly advised for them to go with this option, so I don't see it not closing.
Amazing. Amazing. Congrats. What's the paving project that you're working on right now? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this is another one we're doing. This is a complete regrade and reconstruct. So I have a crew there right now. I have a crew excavating. They're taking out all the old blacktop. They're regrading the whole surface, 44,000 square foot. They're getting all the storm drains set. Since we peeled the old blacktop, we even trenched in the rain spouts. So when we put blacktop back, we don't have water running across the pavement, freezing. So we've actually dumped it out to the edge of the blacktop. So that's done. And that was just something complimentary. It was like $500 in pipe. And it was just like, hey, we're going to provide value to the client. It's factored in here. This is just going to make the project so much better. I actually just got done with a meeting with him a little over 2-3 hours ago. And he popped in and he's like, I didn't even think about that. He's like, this is great. You guys have the water going down under and out off the blacktop. And I was like, yeah, little things like this is, the decisions that we make as professionals that are going to just drive the project to just another level. So everything's 3.5 inches low. Currently we're going to let water flow on the stone that's prepped for the next 2 months or so and see how everything lays and settles. We'll do one final back drag come March, April. And we'll lay 3.5 inches of 19 millimeter there.
Fantastic, man. Nice project, right? Nice thing.
Yeah.
You just kicking the season off. I love that.
Yeah. And then the one with me and Chris is 66,000, I think, square foot.
It's incredible.
Overlay. So yeah.
Let's go. By the way, thank you for all that you're doing, man. I see all the work, all the energy, working with the team inside and really coaching people and really moving them in the right direction. I know that that's a lot of energy to be putting out in addition to your own business. And so I just want to express gratitude for all the hard work that you're putting in, man. And
thanks, bro.
It's appreciated.
Matthias, did you get the picture from Mike yet?
Picture from Mike.
Mike Potesta?
The picture? No. Did he send you a picture?
No, dude. I was telling you, he flew in for a meeting. This was yesterday. Mike is a client me and Matthias has been working with, and he flew in from Tennessee, and we've just had communication. And randomly, I text him. I'm like, "Hey, brother, just let me know how I can help you with this." He sent me like a huge overview of a large HOA, couple $1 million project that some funding's getting allocated to, and he doesn't own anything, know anything about blacktop, and he's just like, "I need to do this thing. I'm connected, and I know there's a way." So I randomly text him. I'm like, "Hey, brother, just let me know if there's anything I can help in the meantime. I know you got a lot going on." And he's like, "Wait, where are you at?" And I'm like, "In Pennsylvania." And he's like, "Dude, I'm flying into Philly right now. I'll be there in 40 minutes. And I was like, "Well, Philly's like 2 hours." He's like, "Well, where are you located?" I'm like, "Right near Hershey." He's like, "Dude, I'm staying in Hershey." He's like, "There's no way. This is divine." So we went out to dinner last night. Like late last night, he flew in. We went out to dinner and chatted for a little while and discussed some of the opportunity he has going on. I mean, but yeah, he's got some stuff down there in Tennessee with local level of the $20 million allocated funds, with government. So
that's awesome. Yeah, send me the picture. Cool. I'd love to see you guys there together. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll send it. He said he was gonna send it to you. He's like, "Don't send it to him. I gotta just tell him it was just a divine intervention. I ran into you."
Awesome, guys. Awesome. This is good stuff. The network, the community, people getting together, people winning together. That makes me super excited. All right, cool. So now let's talk about some meat and potatoes. What are some of the challenges that you guys are having? Let's talk about them and let's see what we can work with you on. What questions do you have? What advice? I've been in business for a minute and always doing my best to pay that forward, and now's the time to do it. This is obviously a completely free pay it forward roundtable right here. It's just us here working to build the best versions of ourselves. Ask any questions you might have. It's open board. Anybody can answer. Just raise your hands. Let's try to keep it non-chaotic where everybody's speaking at the same time. So just use the reactions down at the bottom. Q&A, any newbies on here, anybody that might be scared about getting started, anybody that has started, any partnership questions, any kind of anything that you want to talk about. It's a great opportunity to be able to do that right here on the AK Roundtable. Let's do it. Matt, you've got your hand up, brother. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks. Hey, as the season starts, I'm in southern Utah. We still, in fact, a snowstorm just flew by, and it's sunny again. But I also run a property management company myself. I own a property management company, and I run an RV park. And I already had Saturday, a guy comes in with a pickup truck and a camper, and in the back of his pickup truck is a tote, and it had partial seal coat in it and a lot of seal coat all over the top of his truck. And so I Judd, by your grin there, I mean, this is a classic seal coat gypsy. I put in the chat earlier, be professional, be insured, be registered, be licensed, be a professional company, and then you'll be successful. So I just say, if I could say, hey, I when I saw this guy, I thought, dude, you're aware that we're freezing temperatures at night, yeah? And he's like, oh no, this is nothing will be a problem. The next day he calls me and says, Matt, do you have a place I could dump this seal coat? And I says, what do you mean? He says, it froze last night. And I said, yeah, you could dump it in Las Vegas on your way out of town. So anyway, I'm just throwing out as we're getting new people coming in. There might be guys that are, just starting up, but start up correctly. Follow the system, get your insurances in place, be a legitimate seal coater provider, because then you help the industry grow and not have to, I don't have to go and clean up after somebody, and I don't have to explain to people why they should trust me because I'm licensed, insured, and been doing the business. So that was my 2 cents. You can, I'll if there's anybody has any questions or what.
No, man. Well, that's what you're saying right there. I'll tell you, Matt, like this is massive advice for not only people starting out, right? But people who are in their year 1, year 2, year 3. I've seen people operating 10 years later with the description that you just said right there.
Yeah.
And so really at the end of the day, the question goes out to everybody who's watching this and any of the recordings is that do you desire truly to operate as a professional company that's going to build something that you can be really proud of, that you can feel really good about, that actually makes it be like a magnet, not only for property owners and facility managers and property managers, but makes it like a magnet, makes your business like a magnet for people that may want to consider coming to work with you?
Well,
I
and
can
make it
tell you-
sellable. Make it, you know,
Right.
my goal is, you know, when I can no longer work and I'm either going to sell the business, or I'm going to keep on to it and have a crew come in and have systems and processes in place that it could just keep on going. But if you're running, you know, uninsured and, you know, I know it's a cash business, but boy, if you can run it like a business, you'll be more successful than just going in and ripping somebody off and doing a shitty job and moving on. So that's my 2 cents. If I offended anybody, I apologize. But if I offended you, maybe look in the mirror and say, hey, what can I do? Follow Judd's advice, follow the AK system, and get licensed, get insured, and become a legitimate business. That's all I'm saying.
And if you don't have the capital to start with a big setup right out of the gate, again, just make sure that when you start with an entry level rig to get out there and just to start, that you realize that that is a very short stepping stone, that is something just to get you some money to reinvest into your organization. And whatever you do, if you're operating from a tote system or a drum system, and that's where you're starting, if that's what you choose, which is not, by the way I would recommend starting, but if that's the only means that you have to be able to build a better life for you yourself, like I started with 5-gallon pails between my legs and a paint roller, like that's where I started, right? And so you got to start somewhere, but please do not get stuck in the hamster wheel. And Matt, I couldn't agree more, man. It's like, if you're going to operate with a drum or a tote sprayer or whatever it is, make sure everything's secure, make sure everything's clean, make sure everything's professional. Even if you're operating as a small newbie, make sure that again is just that stepping stone. Couldn't agree more with you, brother. Great advice for everyone. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, we've got about 10 minutes. Telsa and Rose, what's happening? Let's go. Come on. We cannot see you, by the way.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm in the car. How's everybody doing?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I have a couple of questions, but it's crazy because I left all my information in the suitcase and my fiance is gone. So we have a bid that we're getting ready to put in. It's a parking lot addition. We're building a parking lot from scratch. It's about 23,000 square feet. And we're at, if I'm not mistaken, our number is $569,000 dollars. As far as like is that a low? Is that bad?
If you can get $500,000 for 23,000 square feet, that would be a pretty badass opportunity. But I can tell you that the numbers are off for sure, Telsa.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're doing like right now, like Skylar, right now you're doing an installation. Did you say you're doing an overlay or an installation? Sorry, bro.
Both. We're doing an installation though. Right now we're doing a complete reconstruction. We're regrading, hauling in stone. We hauled out 27 triaxles of existing. So yeah, I mean it's ground up.
What are you charging? And Telsa, is this a new installation or an overlay?
It's a new installation.
Skylar, and Telsa, remind me where you're located.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Anybody on here in Florida? Paving? Anybody? What are you getting in PA right now for a new installation, Skylar, for around that kind of square footage?
So I can break it down. We have it in phases, and it's probably going to be easier for me to digest it out to you right now. The first phase would be the excavation and the haul out. Some of the material we're keeping on site, some of the materials being hauled out. We're $24,000 into just the first phase of ripping all the old blacktop out, regrading, and putting stone back down. And then we got roughly 44,000 square at 3.5 inches was like, I think 734 ton, which would be like roughly $72,000 in asphalt. And then with it's going to be hard, right? I'm going to speak in general terms. If we're going to go in general terms, you would typically still see roughly 50% there. So, you're roughly looking at $140,000 to lay the asphalt, but that's going to vary for every company and what that number needs to be. Sometimes it might be 60, sometimes it might be 65, sometimes it might be 40. That would really be discretion on the company there. But like a good rough number is 140,000 for the asphalt and 24 grand for the excavation. So
that's on 44,000 square feet, correct?
Yeah. So that's, yeah.
Telsa, what are you sitting at square footage, Telsa? 30,000, 38,000?
No, it's 23.
So 23,000, I'd probably be quoting. And do you have to do any prep work on it, or is it just
it's a dirt parking lot. We have to do some tree removal. But other than that, it's just a open dirt open dirt lot, and they want to turn it into a parking lot.
How many trees?
It's a total. There's one large tree, and then there's 5 smaller trees. But I have a company that went out to see it, and for the large tree they quoted me at 3,500, and then the smaller trees each one would be 28.
I'm gonna hop in depending on who you're getting. Like, I know my crew really well, and I'm gonna speak on my crew, right? I would never call a tree person to go. I mean, depending on how big, at 23,000 feet, if this tree is like right next to a building, I would never go call somebody and pay them $3,000 to $5,000 to cut a tree down when I have an excavator there with an 18 to 20 some ton machine that's going to push that thing over and haul it off site, and he's going to chop it up for free while he's doing the job. Like learning those.
That's what they said, that they're going to bulldoze push the tree down because it's in an open lot, not around anything. So they'll be able to like kind of push it down and
for 3,500, they're scamming you.
Oh,
that is crazy. Yeah. That is insane to me. Like you could go call an arborist, right? Where they're going to go up there and rig everything, and they're going to slowly drop these branches for probably $3,000 to $5,000. Like that guy is going to cut that tree up and haul it off site in a matter of a couple seconds if he's good with his equipment. I mean, we have one tree at the bare end of this. There's concrete in the parking lot from an old weight scale that used to be here that he's jackhammering out. There is 1, 2, 3 concrete pads, probably 1,500 to 2,000 square foot that he's hauling out, plus hauled in stone, plus we put those underground pipe in, and we're still not breaking like 25 grand. It's so if he's charging you $3,000 to $5,000 to push that thing over, he's going to hop out of his machine for 2 seconds, cut the big limbs off, put it in his triaxle, and the tree is going to go bye-bye with the rest of the fill. Like, I would definitely get that re-quoted.
Hey, Judd. Judd, I kind of a simpler answer, because I know Skylar's got a project he's going, but it's those are apples and oranges. For me here in Utah, I've got a hot plant close. We're at about $1.60 a square for 8 inches of road base, and then we're about $3.50 to $4 for asphalt. And those are the numbers. That's kind of the numbers I use, whether it's a 10,000 square foot or a 40,000 square foot. Now, when you start getting 50s and 100, then I'm coming down on my asphalt pricing. But those are kind of, hopefully those numbers help her to come up with a number, and it is going to be dependent on the state or region of the country. But when you're looking at, I don't like to square foot price, but sometimes you have to square foot price. The only time you square foot price is when your overhead and when that stuff. If you don't know that, you could get stung. So but that's a simpler number that I think she may be looking for to know 500,000. If she gets 500,000 for 23,000 square feet, God bless her. But for me, I'm looking at about 115,000.
Yeah, I was saying 115 to 130. But the other thing too, Telsa, like I strongly urge you to do this before you go down a road of losing a bunch of jobs and or making a mistake committing to a job. I would strongly recommend getting with someone like a coach like Skylar, for example, who literally will dig into the costs associated with not only the project, but also your business that you're running, because he's going through that with his company. And he's extremely deep in it. And so investing into proper coaching and teaching around this stuff will really allow you to strive forward more effectively. We don't want to see you make big errors.
Yes, totally understand. So I will totally revisit revisit this, because we were off completely then.
Way off, in my opinion.
Electrical.
Yeah.
She was off in the right direction, though. It could have been worse. She could have been going and saying, "Hey, I'll do this for 70 grand," and they sign up and then take her to court when she can't perform.
Right.
Oh God,
right.
No, we don't want that. We don't want to get on anybody's bad list. So we definitely want to make sure we're putting in the right bid.
Telsa, get with Skylar's emails on there as well. And Skylar, I think you have their email address, so you guys should connect and at least have a chat and move that forward.
Yes, please.
Yeah, for sure. I'll reach out and we can go over it. I mean, just to even describe, right? Like Matt's numbers are great and it's great, but you know what I mean? And it's really good. It's a really good baseline price to get it, but don't run with it, because like Judd's saying here, dangerous. I still see it. Yeah, super dangerous. Like, I mean, especially with the phase we're in right now, like it was one thing I was going to add on. I don't remember what we were talking about, but like we are getting an immense amount of people right now that are reaching out, and I get calls all day long with people that are like, "Oh, I ran a $500,000 business and now I'm doing 100, or I did whatever, 900,000, but I still have nothing left, or I have this and I don't have nothing left." Like I have a spreadsheet now with probably 20 columns, and you look at it and it looks crazy complex, but all I got to do is type in square footage. All I got to do is type in lineal footage or whatever those items are. And I know off of all my historical data and taking my P&L and breaking everything down with labor overhead and labor burden and all those numbers. And I've created the formulas now where I just type it in and it pretty much spits out all the other information on the back end. And I'm continually fine tuning it, after I get more and more and more data. But there's a lot of good averages. I mean, honestly, I literally right before here, I just got off the phone with someone and they're like, "Yeah, I'm getting started and we bought 3 trucks and I have 3 crews ready to go and we're brand new in business." And he's like, "I have no idea how to price a job." And I'm like, "Okay, so let's learn how to price this." And he's like, "Yeah, well, let me think about it." And I'm like, "So you're telling me you went and bought 3 setups, you have 3 crews ready to go, and you have to think about how to learn how to price a job? Like, how do you expect to do anything in this field if you don't know how to price a job and truly understand your numbers?" Like, it is just ludicrous when people, kind of give those answers of like, "Yeah, like, let me think about it." I'm like, so you're investing money. You just blew 30, 40, 50, 60 grand, whatever it was, to think about it? Like, so, you want to run in the right direction and make sure you're building reputation, right? Like if probably anybody in this group seen that quote, they would have been like, "She's out of her mind. Never call that company again." 560 grand.
It's the other thing too that I'll say, and I know, Matt and Scott, you'd say the same thing, and anybody else who's been in the industry for a while. You can go and hunt a job and close a job based upon a price that you think is going to work, and you probably are going to make some money. You don't know how much money you're going to actually make, but I can tell you, going into your business with literally blinders on is one of the most uncomfortable things that you can ever do. It's scary. It sucks. It sucks for your people when you can't make payroll. There's a lot of different pieces. And then at the end of the year, when it's time to take home a nice little dividend or reinvest in your business, you see those receivables and they're coming in, but you've got these payables that are on top of that. And all of a sudden there's no money left and you're in the hole. So it's always better to go early on in business, understanding your true numbers, not just your numbers, but your true numbers, so that you can build a company of value, because I think that's what we're all here for, right? Like, we're all here to build enterprise value in a company, and we're here to have a company that's organized and that can actually run. And that's really what you need in order to go into that hyper growth mode as well. So just something to take into consideration. Skylar.
I think the stress relief of that too, right? I think that's my biggest thing. I know every single time when I put it into my formula and I know my numbers that well, do I want the job? There's some times where it's just like, I either A, have to change it, or B, it just does not work. And I have to call the client back and I'm like, hey, look, here's our numbers. Like, you gave me a $5,000 budget or whatever it is, because that's what you have to spend. I could do like a fifth of your lot, right? We're going to do everything and we're going to get it done to the right spec. But like, your expectations are not, reality. And when you go into that, it is so chaotic to go around. And like, sometimes you do get lucky, right? Where you might end up with a % of profit at the end of the year. But really, maybe one job was 60% and you lost 20 grand on the other job, and you just got lucky that there was money at the end of the year. So you think you did all right. But when you can go through with clarity and look at every single job and know, it creates like so much cash flow forecasting. You understand what that is. You can look at everything with clarity, like down to the cent of, okay, how much money do I need for the material? What is the dividend going to be? What's my unrecognized costs? People miss unrecognized costs all the time. Everybody wants to say, oh, yeah, I'm making 50% gross profit, right? A lot of people like to use that number. And it worked for me for a really long time. I went from not knowing numbers to knowing 50% gross profit, and I operated off of that for a while. I was like, okay, if I price my jobs at 50% gross profit, my labor burden and all my overhead should come out and leave me with money left over, until you can outpace that too, right? Like, sometimes it doesn't work, or the number still isn't true for that job, and you need to change that. Maybe that job needs to be 70% gross profit because your efficiencies in the labor allows for that 20, 25, 30, whatever that number is that you're, really aiming for at the end. So, there's so much that goes into it. And it's so valuable in the front end to know that and not live in chaos. Like, numbers and systems are your best friend. And it's not just there. I mean, we have a team dedicated to just systems. Now we have a full packet. It's like 15, 20 pages of what happens when somebody gets injured. Like, where are they going? Who are they calling? What's the process? Like, all those stresses, when you just think about some of these ground up things, right? Everybody wants to run into business. Like, and it's a great thing when we're making money, but running into business causes so much stress. You have a lot of people that have been here and spent a lot of time and a lot of money. Like me personally, I can literally contribute $1 million+ in failures. I learned, but I learned at my own expense. Like, wouldn't you want to fast track that? Like, it blows my mind when people come in with the conviction of saying, I don't know what I'm doing, I need help, and then still want to run in another direction that doesn't make sense. Like, walking the yellow brick road. Walking the yellow brick road is so fun. Like, I wake up every single day, like, literally, we have the slogan, that we say to each other. And I say it to my guys now all the time. Like, yo, can you believe we get to do this? Like, this is so much fun. Like, because the stress disappears when you learn what you're doing.
It's so true. Skylar messages all the time. Like, can you believe we get to do this? This is so cool. But yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's like, what is going to be more difficult? To do this early and deal with it now, or to deal with this long approach of trying to eventually optimize it down the road? And I can tell you, it's just way harder to do it down the road, way too expensive, and a lot of headaches too. So you might as well do it early. Understand your numbers early. Cool. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you, Coach Schuyler. Appreciate you always and your energy, man, and all that you do. Matt, thank you for all of the paying it forward as well, bro. Appreciate you so much, man. Cool. All right, let's go around the board. We're going to do a one-word close to wrap up this meeting. It's going to be a one-word close. We do this every round table. I'm really, really excited about what we're going to move into here in the next few weeks, because of course, weather is starting to break. Things are happening. And I've been saying it every morning, Matthias, what's going to happen with the
dam's going to burst.
The dam's going to burst. Let's go. You can feel it. Can you all feel it? I can feel it. All right, let's go. Let's go. Cool. All right, one word close. Looking forward to this one. Let's go, Matthias.
Know your cost.
I love that. Yeah. True story. True story. Jonathan. Let's go, Jonathan. One word close.
My word is network.
Love that. Matt. One word close.
Black gold.
Schuyler. One word close.
Private equity. Matt, call me. When you're ready.
Rory, one word close, Mr. Rory.
Enlightening.
Let's go, man. Stoked to be working with you, bud. We got lots of good stuff coming, right? I love that. Cool. John, one word close.
Spring.
Billy, one word close. By the way, a huge shout out to Mr. Billy with the background, the lighthouse background. I love it. I love that. That makes my heart sing, bro. Good stuff, man. Be a lighthouse.
One word close. Genesis, in the beginning.
Cool. Love that. Carlos.
Precipice.
Great word. Love that. Laura.
Consistency.
Mr. Matt.
Oh shit.
I see you. What's up, guys?
It's go time.
Yes, it is. Let's go. Let's go. Captain Jim Kramer.
Go time is good. I like that.
Go time. Yep. Mr. Art, one word close. Thumbs up. Love it. Let's go. Thumbs up. Mr. Wallace, one word close.
Forward.
Victor, one word close.
Strong roots, sweet fruit.
I love that. Stephanie.
Yes, I'm going to say clarity.
Absolutely. And please don't be afraid to ask any questions during the meeting. Raise your hand, drop anything. We're happy to discuss anything at any point for sure. Would love that. Also, by the way, on the AK Roundtable in Facebook, I don't know if you use Facebook, but please don't be afraid. Use that, post your question, and you'll get a bunch of answers in there as well. And that way you get a bunch of perspective on the outside as well. Mr. Olivier, one word close.
Good. Challenge.
I'll say branding. Chad keeping. Chad keeping. Oh, you know what? I don't think that's Chad. My bad. I totally mistake the company name. All right, let's rock and roll. I have Inkeep seal coating. Inkeep seal coating. One word close. Let's go.
Grind.
100%. Let's make it happen.
Grind.
And my one word close is an acronym. Some of you know it, and it's big capital letters. CARE. Create a remarkable experience in your life for everyone that surrounds you, around you, and yourself. Make it remarkable. I was running this morning up a hill, and I sent Anthony Bison a message, and he was running up a hill at the same time in the freezing cold. And he said, you know what? Save yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You better get out there. You better do it. You better go work hard. You better do what it is that you desire to be doing in your life to build the best version of yourself. Thanks for tuning in tonight, everyone, to the AK Roundtable. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on the Roundtable.
Let's go.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.
Great seeing you all.
See ya.
Thank you.